Real quick, just stepping in to remind everyone that I have a movie channel. Check out my movie channel if you want. It's Jackson Kruger Movies. The link is in the description below, so if you're tired of just hearing my bad sports takes and want to also hear some bad movie takes, make sure you check that out. Again, link is in the description below. All right, let's talk about Joey Porter Jr., the player who many thought should have been a first-round pick, and essentially was. He was picked with the 32nd pick, but due to the Dolphins not having a draft pick in 2023 in the first round, technically the first pick of the second round, and I thought he played pretty well as a rookie. There was a lot of really good stuff. Some critiques I have as well, but for the most part, I thought it was a pretty solid season. So let's get into the film and talk about what I in particular liked about his rookie year, and also some things I think he's going to have to work on. Like, for example, let's start off with something like this, which is definitely talked about a lot with Joey Porter Jr. I think it is going to be shown on this play, where it's a zone coverage concept, which is what the Steelers like to do a decent amount, but it's cover 3 zones, so definitely have a lot of ground that you have to cover yourself here if you're an outside corner. When this play begins it's a 3rd down and 8, Watson is going to make the throw, towards the sideline, and right here there appears to be a window right here, right? And I think this is what you really like about Joey Porter Jr. is in these situations, is his ball skills. I mean, that's part of why he was drafted, and if you can get him in these situations often, watch him be able to knock that ball away, and that's what he's going to do, is he's going to knock the football away if he has an opportunity to do so. So I think getting him in, zone coverage as frequently as possible is a great way to really, utilize him to his strengths. Because, I mean, man, these highlight type plays are really impressive. Like, this one's another one, which this is like the prototypical, good Joey Porter Jr. play, where it's a one-on-one situation in a huge spot in the game. I mean, it's a 3rd down and goal. The Ravens are currently up 2 points. Like, if you give up a touchdown here, it's probably game over. And this is a game that the Steelers would actually go on to win, in part because of this play. It's a one-on-one matchup. Odell Beckham Jr. is who Porter is going up against. When this play begins, you're going to see Porter Jr., do a good job at really using his using contact to keep Odell away. That's what he's doing. He's using his physicality. But that is only part of the battle, right? Okay, you put yourself in a situation where Odell's going to have a hard time making the grab, but if you have an opportunity to make something great happen, watch him box out Odell. He gets the interception, and that was a huge play in that game. Again, I mean, we're talking about essentially a 7-point swing. If you give up the score, you're giving up 7. Instead, you gave up 0 because of the play that he was able to make, and it allowed them to win that football game. And I don't even really blame Lamar for that. It's, hey, rookie corner against our number 1 receiver, but the rookie corner won. There's also plays like this where it's going to be really set up as though it's a man coverage play that the Steelers are running, but they're actually not playing man. It's instead going to be, they're going to drop back into cover 2 zone. That's what's happening. That is Joey Porter Jr.'s area he's supposed to cover. He's the one lined up right in front of that white zone. That's where he's covering. And this is the concept that the Bengals are going to be using, which can work against man or zone for sure, but those are the 2 routes on that side of the field. Okay, let's see what happens. So Joe Burrow takes a snap here, and you look over there, that is where Porter Jr. is, kind of, pushed off the guy who was lined up closest to him, but is now going to cover the other Bengal player. For Joe Burrow, that's where he's looking towards, and it makes sense, right? For one thing, if he thinks this is man coverage, it's wide open, but even against zone, can Porter quickly enough realize this is what's happening and get over and make a tackle? Well, the answer is he actually gets over so quick, he doesn't even have to make a tackle because he knocked the ball loose, so it's an incomplete pass instead. Really good stuff there to, again, that closing speed is really impressive. And it works in plays like this, too. The next time they played the Cincinnati Bengals, you see where he is on the field. He's the one I've circled in black. The Bengals are going to have a receiver run more over the middle, but this is really just trying to get Porter to also run over the middle. If they can do that, then number 16 for Cincinnati will kind of go more towards the sideline. He could be the guy that they throw to. Okay, simple enough. Let's see how this works. Jake Browning is going to take the snap and quickly flip it underneath. Also, I accidentally called him Burrow earlier. I got confused because Burrow wears 9, Browning wears 6. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. You see right here, for Porter Jr., there's space, and this isn't going to be the easiest play to come in and make. But watch him come in and not just stop it short of being a touchdown. He doesn't even allow a first down on that play. Really good stuff. And don't get me wrong, Throw could have gotten there a little quicker, but still, really good stuff to be able to come through and make the play. So yeah, there's a lot of positives with Joey Porter Jr. There are some negatives. Going over to something like this, where you see it's a slant route right here, one-on-one matchup essentially, and watch what happens. Look at how much space you see Porter Jr. give right here, and he's still kind of bailing right here. It's kind of what the Steelers like to do just in general with their corners. They don't give up the big play. That's a big part of what they're doing. And I kind of understand it to some degree because he is so good with his closing speed at like being able to come back and make a play. Here, though, I mean, that would have been a completion had it not been tipped at the line. Again, it's DK Metcalf. You can't get burned deep. I understand it. But this is probably the one drawback I see is he'll sometimes give up too much space underneath. I think there are times when he could play more aggressive and still get away with it, which is funny to say he needs to play more aggressive. But, I mean, pre the ball getting into area, might need to play a little more aggressive. I think that can kind of lead to giving up some yards and could potentially, lead to not being the elite shutdown corner quite yet. But I still think there's a lot of really good stuff. The ball skills are certainly what makes him special. The closing speed is certainly what makes him special. And I do think that him being able to, give up a lot of space, he can give up more space than your average corner can. It's like similar to Richard Sherman. He would give up a ton of space, but that's because even if you tried to throw it to him, he would be able to come back and make a play on the ball, right? I'm not comparing Joey Porter Jr. to Richard Sherman, but I am a little, like, that they have similar play styles for sure. And so that's what's, I think, exciting if you're a Steelers fan, is the fact that there are things like that he can do. So, yeah, I mean, again, as a whole, are there things that maybe he could get a little better at? Sure, but he's a rookie corner. You don't expect him to come in right away and know exactly how much space to give each player. It takes some time. And I think for what he did as a rookie was very impressive, and I am expecting him to continue to grow as a player and continue to get better as a player. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, kind of long story short, I think he does a lot of really good stuff and should be a pretty good player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, yeah, those are my thoughts, and I say should be a pretty good player. Is a pretty good player. Like, there's a lot of stuff he does well as already. So, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on him. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.